Yeah, hello, hope you're good. So I'm back today with a new video and that'll be a little bit long. So I decided to write it and read, understand? So I have my notes in front of me here. I'll be reading and you'll be following. So, okay, let's start. Hope you're good. I'm back today with a new video entitled The 36 Alphabet Letters in Phone Language. Okay, so for the newcomers, this channel is about English versus phone language, and I'll give you everything you need to know about phone language and the explanations in English language. All right, good. Okay, my name is Gildas Avokbaho Ahosi, and I'm a phone language native speaker, a language spoken in Benin Republic, my so blessed country. So before we start, don't forget to press the like button and to join the channel for more videos. All right, good. Okay, let's start. um in phone language we have 36 letters composed with consonants and vowels. All right, so now I'll start saying them. I mean reading them, and you'll be following on the screen, because I'm gonna display it batches by batches. And in each batches we're gonna have the capital letters, the lowercase letters, and the pronunciations. That'll be batches by batches. All right, okay, so the first batch in the first batch we have the letter A, as in English A. And you'll be watching on the screen. I will display it on the screen. You have the letter A, the capital letter. You see how it is written. You see the lowercase letter is also A, but the pronunciation is A. A. The pronunciation in phone is A. The second letter you have A and N. A and N together, and the lowercase is A and N together also, and the pronunciation in phone language is uh, uh, uh. Alright, next we have the letter B, the letter B, and B in capital letter and also B in the lowercase letter. The pronunciation in phone language is B, B. You can be watching that on the screen, right? Straight. Okay. The next letter is C, the letter C, capital and lowercase cc. And the pronunciation in phone language is ch, 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 ch. The next letter is D, D but in capital and lowercase. And the pronunciation in phone language is D, 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 D. Just be repeating after me while watching the video, alright? Okay, so the next letter is a D crossed out. So you can see on the screen, you see a D crossed out. And this is a letter that exists only in phone language, D crossed out. You see the capital letter and the lowercase letter. And the pronunciation in phone language is D, 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 D. The next one, we have the letter F, F, but in capital letter and in lowercase letter, and the pronunciation is The pronunciation in foreign language is f, 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 f. So that's all for the first batch. So let's move on the second batch. In the second batch, we have the first letter is G and B together. You see GB. So you have both the capital and the lowercase letter. And the pronunciation in foreign language is B, B, B. Alright? So the next letter in the second batch is G, G, but in capital and lowercase. And the pronunciation in foreign language is G, 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 G. Alright? The next letter is H, but in capital and lowercase letter. And the pronunciation in foreign language is ha, 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 ha. So you can be watching that on the screen and pronounce after me, alright? Okay. So it's ha. Next letter is I and N together, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is ni, 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 ni. Alright? So the next letter is J, J, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is J, J. The pronunciation in foreign language is J, J, J. So J is J, alright? The next letter is K, K both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is K, 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 K. The next letter is K and P together, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is P, B, B, B. Okay, so that's all for the second batch. Let's move on. Let's move on to the third batch, alright? So in the third batch, the first letter is the letter L, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is L, 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 alright? So the next letter in the third batch is M, the letter M, both in capital and lowercase. You can be watching that on the screen and repeat after me. Alright, so the letter M and the pronunciation is M, 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 M. Okay, now the next letter in the third batch, we have the letter N, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is N, 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 N. Okay, so next is the letter O, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is O, 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 O. The pronunciation in foreign language is O. Okay, the next one is the letter N and Y together, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is Nya, Nya, Nya. So that one also only exists in foreign language, the two both written together, N and Y, is a single letter in foreign language and it is pronounced Nya. Okay, so let's move on the next letter, and this letter is P, the letter P, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is P, P, P. Okay, hope you are following me. Be watching on the screen and repeating after me, alright? Okay, so the next letter in the third batch is the letter, E and N. You can see it on the screen. It's a curved E plus N together. You see? And that curved E is written in both capital and lowercase letter, and the pronunciation in foreign language is eh, 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 alright? So the next letter is O, a half O written plus a N together, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is on. So that letter, that letter, for example, is only seen in foreign language. You can see the kind, there are some kinds of diphthongs in foreign language, and you can see two letters together, and that'll be considered as a single one letter. So that one, for example, is an example of that. You can see a half O written plus an N, and it is pronounced on. So now that's all for the third batches. Let's move on the fourth batch. In the fourth batch, for example, the first letter is a half O written only, but in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is O, 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 O. The next letter in the fourth batch is U and N together, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is mm, mm, mm. You can be watching on the screen and repeating after me, okay? I'll display everything on the screen, batches by batches, alright? So the next letter in the fourth batch is an E curved, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is eh, eh. You can see a stress on the pronunciation, so it's eh. The next letter is the letter U, both in capital and lowercase, alright? And the pronunciation is U, U, U. In foreign language, the pronunciation is U, alright? The next letter is the letter I, both in capital and lowercase. And the pronunciation in foreign language is E, 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 alright? The next letter is the letter E, both in capital and lowercase plus a stress. And the pronunciation in foreign language is A, A, A. Okay, so next letter in the fourth batch, we have the letter R, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation is R, 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 R. Okay, so now that's all for the fourth batch. Let's move on the fifth batch. Okay, in the fifth batch, the first letter is the letter S, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is so, so, so. Okay. Next, we have the letter T, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is da, da, da. Okay. So let's move on the third letter in the fifth batch. So the letter is the letter V, both in capital and lowercase. You can be seeing that on the screen, alright? Just repeat after me. It's the letter V, and the pronunciation in foreign language is V, V, V. Okay? So the next letter in the fifth batch is the letter W, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is W, W, W. Okay? Next, we have the letter X, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is str, 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 str. Okay, str. Next, we have the letter Y, both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in foreign language is y, y, y. Okay. Next, we have the letter Z, Z, and both in capital and lowercase, and the pronunciation in FON language is z, z, z. Okay, so I hope you followed everything on the screen because I have displayed everything batch by batch. You can see how the letters, the 36 letters in FON language are written and the way they are pronounced. Okay, so you know there is something that I would like to add to this video. Meaning what? You know, excuse me. Yeah, I was saying that there is something that I'd like to add to this video. FON language is a language written with tones. If you want to speak it, you got to know the tones in the language. And we have four principal tones. The first one, I'll show it on the screen. I'm showing it on the screen. Hope you are seeing it. The first one is a low tone. You see, you can see it on the screen. The second one is a high tone. It's on the screen. You can see it. The third one is a medium tone, and the fourth one is a low high tone. So when you are speaking, you need to use these tones to mean what you want to say. Understand? And what you got to know also is that when you are writing the FON language, you need to use these tones also. Uh, saying tones, I'm saying tones, but you can understand tones by stress also if you want. All right. So that'll be all for this video, and thank you very much for watching it. Stay tuned for the next video, and bye bye.